great steal, but a little bit of relief for Ali Carter. But he did look in fine form and looked to be queuing okay, frame. But for that missed black.
Graeme Dott to break.
Good start for Ali Carter.
Can you not take pictures when players are at the table, please?
And there's that break-off shot. The players are finding it tough with the cloth sliding to get over behind the yellow and get it tight on the cushion. And the number of times they leave this half chance, but it's a half chance. You know, it's great if it goes in, but you've got to be careful. If you take it on and miss it, you can stick your opponent in. Let's see how close Ali can get to this. And see, there's the problem. So although it's not a good break-off shot, he just had a little glance over to Graeme Dott there.
One.
So the poor break-off shot has worked to Graeme Dott's advantage. Can he take that advantage?
Yeah, it's become a bit of a poison chalice, that break-off, isn't it? Because every time we've seen one red pop its head out, leaving a possibility of a long putt.
It's funny, Ken, I was talking to Neil Robertson last night, and he said at the moment if you win the toss you put your opponent in, which is unusual, and it's for that particular reason. Here's the break-off. He's as close to the bronze as he possibly could make, but it just seems off this cushion seems to slide a little bit.
70.
There's a player leaving himself options. Red for the right corner. 24. If he goes a little bit too far, he's got the other red to the left corner. So at times you're putting the cue ball in a position where you're giving yourself choices.
25.
Yes, and without being too presumptuous, this will be 4 reds and 4 blacks.
Yeah, I don't know how he is on the black. He might be able to force over. That's an option to screw back, but I'm not sure if he's got the angle to do that. And he has. Has he got enough side on it? Yeah, that'll do nicely.
Yeah, excellent shot. Now, this will tell us how he's feeling. Will he screw up with the blue? No, he's going to go for the... Well, he's left a high angle on the black. I thought he'd try and get down and get a little bit closer. So needs a good split. A little bit more difficult when you're coming off the top cushion to split the pack. Watch the cue ball here. Try and arc it into the pack. Well, he tried it, but he didn't really fully commit, did he? Making sure the black didn't really use enough power. No real arc on the cue ball at all.
Well, the one consolation is he's touching, so he can just play away back down the table. Doesn't have to just shoot away. He can play off a red if he wants to, but normally if they're touching you just find a spot and try and get in behind a bulk color. Might be able to is there a gap there between the red and the black? He's 40 in front. It wouldn't be a bad idea to play off the black back down the table and put it in a safe position. That would be a bonus with a 40-point advantage, or even just knock the black safe, which he has done. Sacrificed getting a good cue ball to put the black a little awkward.
Don't really like that shot too much, Dennis. I think he's just giving the advantage straight back to Ali Carter. I think he could have easily got it back to balk, even by, as you said, chipping off the black and taking the cue ball back to balk. Has he left the pot? No. I thought he was shaping up for that red into the centre.
And that's a very useful pot, because the way the reds are positioned, if he can get tight up behind the brown, he can make it awkward for Graeme Dott here. At first glance, there's no easy red to lay on. He can play the one next to the black, but he has to be a bit careful. He could push this into a potable position. That's pretty good. Well, he didn't want the kiss on the brown, but the good side about the last shot is pushed to red near the left side cushion. Well, Ali Carter knocked a good long pot in the opening frame. He's going to need another one here.
I see an example of his cue par here. We saw an example of his cue par, but certainly not of his accuracy. He was quite a long way away from that pot. I think he's got away with it first look.
Yeah, if you want to practice your cue action, set up a straight shot like that and try and hit it as hard as you can. See how far you can miss it by at times, because that really is a test of your cue action. A lot of amateur players and players that haven't been playing the game that long, they always say to you, Ken, don't they? Oh, I prefer them cuts into the pocket. Don't like them straight ones. Well, Hawkeye's panning round there. There's not much to go at there, is there?
I think he's saying to the referee, I can just about see the red just behind the pink. You can just about see an outside edge. Now, this has to be spot on. Oh, excellent shot. Excellent shot. Nothing wrong with his eyesight, Dennis.
I tell you, even them big glasses that I used to use, I don't think I'd have been able to hit that one. There is a gap here, though, if he can pot this red. Well, he didn't get the gap. Has he been fortunate? Oh, look at this. He holds his hand up. He's finished plumb on the pink. He thought he was going to get a gap round the back of the reds there. But he did get the main part of the shot. He knocked the red in. He's had a stroke of good fortune. He thought he was going to miss this red that he cannoned into, but have a look at that for a series of little cannons.
Seven. Eight.
Now just watch where he puts the cue ball here. He'll have a choice of 3 or 4 reds. Well, he's on to hit that, so he's only got a choice of 2 reds. But it's such a margin for error there. But
10.
It's not the best positional shot, because the black's off its spot. You know, if he had been a bit further up the table, he had a straight red into the left corner to get nicely on the pink. It's not